Tourism's like a theatre. The ability to manage what goes on backstage determines whether or not it's a sustainable success. The best tourist businesses not only take care of their guests, but also their community and environment. One such company is Grupo Puntacana in the Dominican Republic, winner of the 2009 Tourism for Tomorrow Award for Destination Stewardship.
When I began Punta Cana with Ted Keel in 1969, this was all jungle. There was nothing here. And the issue at that time was to develop or not to develop the area. The problem was that meanwhile, squatters were coming in and tearing down the forest, destroying it completely because they didn't have any way of living. So they had to make charcoal and railroad tracks. We thought it was better to build hotels and put them to work decently with insurance, with security, in a good environment, and take them out of the forest and let the forest stay the way it has stayed. Only 15% of the land had been used in development of hotel industry. The forest is still there.
The company set up the Punta Cana Foundation to provide schools and health facilities for some of the poorest people in the region.
The
Punta Cana Foundation is a non-profit organization that designs and runs sustainable development programs to improve the living conditions of families in this area.
The foundation helps set up free public schools. In addition to mainstream subjects, high school students learn trade skills such as IT and electrical engineering. The company also runs an international school. It's a private school, but fees are based on earnings, so the children of the poorest employees are taught alongside the grandkids of the resort owner. The Punta Cana Foundation has helped establish the Veyron Clinic, the only free health centre in the region.
We are talking about an area that has above 70,000 people living here. So we are the only choice that they have to receive the medical attention. We see around 2,000 people a month in this area here. So we are here to work with the prevention of diseases and to see all primary cares in the area. Without the Punta Cana Foundation, without their intervention here, this place wouldn't be real right now.
Another charity set up by Grupo Punta Cana looks after the environment.
The Punta Cana Ecological Foundation was established in 1994 by the founders of Grupo Punta Cana. The idea was to create a not-for-profit foundation that could really investigate the different issues facing the tourist industry in the Dominican Republic and come up with practical solutions for them. And so the foundation was really set up as a think tank to apply different solutions on the property of Grupo Punta Cana and in the Punta Cana region that could serve as examples of how things could be done better in terms of environmental practices. And so now we're given by Grupo Punta Cana of 1,500 acres of land to use both for preservation of species, for scientific research, for education with local communities, local students, and also as land that we could do experimental projects with to show different examples of how sustainable tourism would look.
One of its key projects is the protection and management of the Ecological Reserve.
The Ecological Reserve is a 1,500-acre reserve, and there's some really well-maintained primary forest in that reserve that we've developed a series of trails and different recreational activities for tourists. They can walk through the reserve, they can see what the local forest is like, there's freshwater lagoons that they can swim in, and it's also a place where we conduct scientific research.
Outside the reserve, the Ecological Foundation has established an organic farm, producing fruit, vegetables, and honey.
As a hotel, we produce a large quantity of organic waste. And so we've been looking for solutions of how do we handle that organic waste and turn it into something that's useful. And so we have a project where we're turning waste, food waste, into food. We have an area where we have worms to do worm composting, They process our organic waste into fertilizers, both liquid and solid fertilizers, and then with that we grow local vegetables that we sell back to the hotels, to homeowners, and to restaurants. And so we're literally taking what's food waste, would normally have a huge cost to be taken to a landfill, and instead we're turning it into something productive and something that our homeowners and our restaurants really enjoy.
However, much of the waste produced by tourism is not able to be turned into compost. To deal with waste from its hotels and airport, Grupo Punta Cana has installed the Dominican Republic's first recycling and incineration plant. It handles 5 tons of trash a day, and about 47% of that waste is recycled. One of the biggest criticisms of tourism, and in particular holiday resorts with golf courses, is the amount of water usage.
Grupo Punta Cana was really a pioneer in the Dominican Republic in terms of its conservation and use of water. We were the first company in the region, and probably one of the first hotels in the country, to develop its own water treatment facility using an anaerobic digestion process that's very low energy consumption. We treat all of the water that we use throughout the property through this anaerobic process, and then we monitor the quality of the water to ensure that it's decent for reuse, and then we recycle all of that water in irrigation. And so the overall impact of this is that the original sewage that we have is treated instead of being released into the ocean or the groundwater, and then we're able to recycle it, saving thousands and millions of gallons of water every year.
Everyone in the tourist industry have to understand that in the Caribbean, we have 3 key assets: sea, sun, and sun. And the 3 are affected by the environment. So if we don't protect it, we lose our business. We don't have a choice. We have to spearhead the fight to preserve Mother Nature at its best. Otherwise, we will be shooting ourselves in our foot.